So today we're interviewing an African American sister who was abandoned here in Africa with twins. So make sure you stay tuned.
What you sing as giving them the height of thunder.
Jump down already.
Can you sing?
What's going on, world? Welcome back to T3 and Me. It's your man Tim Ford Jr. here, and today I'm here with my sister, Mrs. Chris
Asante
Karibu. Yes, Karibu. Welcome back to T3 and Me. Many of y'all may have seen her on our first episode when we showed you guys when we do pop-up shops here. So sis was there. She brought a taco shop, and she's been here hustling the entire time. What, almost 2 years now?
Almost in Africa, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Almost 2 years in Africa. Sis has come here. She's been doing her thing, and I wanted to give her an opportunity to come here and have a conversation so that she can give people her story and a look at how she made it happen over here. So once again, Karibu, sis, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Yes. So yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, first of all, I want to thank everybody who's been showing love, everybody who's been showing us support, everybody who's been following this entire journey, all of the people who's been sending prayers, sending donations. You appreciate it. And we don't take it lightly that you guys are giving us your attention and find our content valuable. We appreciate that and thank you all. All of the new subscribers that came to the journey, welcome. Karibu, all of you all who are new, we thank y'all. We are coming here from Africa to show people what's possible if they believe in themselves and take a chance on themselves and just let go of what we've been taught and institutionalized to think. So welcome to the channel, y'all. Let's get started with this conversation.
All right.
I know it's going to be helpful to a lot of people. Yes. So sis, you first of all, you came to Africa almost 2 years ago, right?
That is right.
Yes. And when you came here, you were initially in a marriage at the time, right?
Yes.
So how did you end up in the unfortunate circumstances of being abandoned here?
Wow.
in Africa?
Okay, so my significant other and I, we have been separated already for 4 years. But with the pandemic and the world changing, everything's going on, it was hard on both of us.
Yeah.
And because we made a covenant, we was like, we're going to make this work. We're going to come together because we're going to be stronger together, right? We're going to get through this. Came along the journey, France had closed their borders. So we were not able to make it to France where he was initially. Africa was not the destination.
So was it long distance?
It was long distance.
So you were in the States and he was in France.
Yeah, at the time of our separation.
Okay,
While married, we were married in the States.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But once we separated, he went back home to France. Yeah, so so along the journey, France closed their borders. It was during COVID, and the plan was that when we chill out in Senegal, which is his family's home country, and once France opened up their borders, then we just jet out to France and carry on with our family plan.
Yeah.
It didn't happen that way, y'all. It didn't happen that way. No, it's all good. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, I didn't understand why, but I'm glad that it did.
Yeah.
It was a very hard pill to swallow, but 7 days into our stay in Senegal, I was excited. I called him up like, hey, we seen this for the first time. The kids and I are eating this kind of food. We doing these activities, like these things. We were just excited.
Yeah.
Experimenting Africa. We didn't never dream about being in Africa.
Yeah, and just to make it was like,
it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at him and I'm like, well, why he look like that? What's going on? You having a bad day? And he hit me with the, I don't care about you no more.
Dang, 7 days in Africa.
7 days in Africa. And it was like, I didn't come with a grand plan. I didn't come with a large savings.
Yeah.
I came with the strength and faith in my husband that he was going to take care of us like he said. It was his time to carry the team.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
you know, previous years I did that. And you know, when, you know, your partner fumble the ball, you got to pick it up and keep going.
So initially, he promised you that y'all would come here and build something, and he would step up to the plate
Yeah.
and really like take care of things.
Yeah, that man sold me a dream. He sold me a dream. Sold me a dream. You know,
Yeah.
I never spoke about it, but I remember we talked about this property that we were going to take on.
Mm-hmm.
How come and he told me that he actually had it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why a few months after I see the property listed, it's been listed for a very long time. Yeah. So like the truth just started coming to light. Like everything just started unfolding, and it put me in this dark place. I was depressed.
Dang. So how did you, when you had to deal with that and, you know, how can I put it? I guess you were sort of like left, I won't say left for dead, but sort of just left hanging.
It felt like that. It felt like that, Tim.
So, and it was almost 2 years ago. You made it to this point now. So how did you overcome it? Like, what did you do to like, man, I got to pick myself up. I can't sit in this.
I sat in that, y'all, for like 9 months. 9 months. You talking about not leaving the room, just in my bed, trying to make sense of the situation, trying to figure out, okay, what am I supposed to do? What am I going to do? What's next?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And at that time, I was reading the Bible, reading the Quran. I was just trying to figure out, what is life? What am I here for? What's my purpose? Because you know, my heart was crushed. My dream was crushed. Nothing made sense to me anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and so after 9 months, I'm, you know, the funds was running a little low. Just keep it real.
Yeah. I know how that
funds
goes.
was running low, and my kids had flourished in the motherland.
In Senegal.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, I don't want to take them back to that.
Yeah.
You know, during COVID,
they
were in the house.
Yeah.
They didn't see their friends. You know what I'm saying? They were always kept in the house. Public places, it was hard to take them to. Why? People were out in the streets fighting over toilet paper and water.
Yeah,
you know, so it was even dangerous to take them out with me to different places. So life just wasn't the same.
And all that.
All of that. And so I was just like, I refuse to go back to that.
Yeah.
So we gonna have to
figure it out.
Figure this out.
So when
ahead.
people would say, what made you, well, my next question would be, what made you move to Africa? And like, what made you make the decision to come here? But I guess it was, you know, greener pasture sort of for you and your family, and something better for your children, right?
It was. Yeah. It really was. The cost of living was cheaper. There was a sense of peace and freedom. In America, I worked so much, I didn't get to see my kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's our normal as a single parent, you know, that's male or female. As a single parent, you know, you're going to miss the valuable years with your children.
Unfortunately,
And so I got to Africa and I learned who my children were. You know, they learned who I was.
So prior to coming to Africa, y'all didn't, I won't say you didn't know your children, but it was like, okay, I'm at work. They taking care of their school good, we good.
Literally didn't even know them like that, seriously, because it was always, I worked 2 and 3 jobs at a time. So I would pick them up from school. You know, when I would pick them up, I would still be on the clock for work. So I only had a short amount of time to whip up something real fast, head back to work.
Dang, so it takes a lot to be able to admit that too, the fact that you didn't know your children.
I didn't know my children.
I know it sort of hurt you to even have to come to a realization like, hold on, dang.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not getting to know y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also I realized that my children suffered too. Like as adults, we come over here and we realize that we got all these traumas that we need to take care of, but our children suffer too.
Yeah, they have their own
and
trauma.
I could say that like my children did suffer from, I would think, abandonment in a sense, slight abandonment, because of always having to run to work.
Yeah.
So once we got over to the continent, I had so much time with them, I couldn't even go to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm just going to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going downstairs to pick up the delivery. I promise you, I'm not going nowhere. You know, it was.
But you saw that.
It was like that.
But it's changed now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good. All
yeah.
praise.
Oh
Good,
yeah.
good.
It did, and that alone is why I choose to stay here. That alone is why I want to be here.
Yeah.
You could not pay me no amount of money, cut me no deal, job, none of that to go back to American soil.
Yeah, especially for the safety of your children. Even after you had to go through you know, the unfortunate circumstance of being abandoned, you still won't even. Oh wow, we gotta get this. Look at this. Hold on. Masai, mambo vipi? Poa poa. Me, I'm next. Me, Kati. Dada, mimi hapana. Kwa nini? No? Fresh. Asante sana. Habari gani? Poa. Habari dada.
Yeah.
Poa, Rafiki. Yeah, sometimes you gotta show love to the culture. He wouldn't even cut my hair, man. I wish he would hook me up a little bit. America wasn't a choice, wasn't an option to go back. What made you choose to come to Tanzania?
So like I said, my money was running a little low.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Senegal, the cost of living is a lot higher than Tanzania.
Okay.
And Tanzania started looking real attractive.
Yeah.
First I didn't even know that people were repatriating to Africa. Like I didn't even know it was a thing.
What?
I didn't know.
Wow.
And then I guess because I was over here,
Yeah.
YouTube started recommending American, the diaspora videos to me. So I'm like, it's people over here? What?
Yeah.
And there was such a large diaspora community in Tanzania at the time. So that was one of the reasons, that kind of drew
Made
me.
it look attractive.
It did. And so I was like, you know what, y'all, we going to give this a shot.
Yeah.
We're going to give it a shot
Yeah.
and see what it do.
Yeah.
And so last week made our 1 year in Tanzania.
Uh-oh. Congratulations. Yes, y'all.
Sunday
Actually,
Sana.
she came here the same day that Naya was born, y'all. So that's how she's gonna be able to remember her anniversary.
I know.
The day that Naya was born, you
Man,
came in.
you know, a lot of us experience challenges with trying to get over here, and that ain't nothing but the enemy trying to stop the plan. But coming over here for whatever reason, none of my cars would work. They were trying to keep me in Senegal. I'm like, what? So I didn't even know anybody over here,
Wow.
and I reached out to your wife. I didn't even expect her to even really be awake at the time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know you don't know me. I really need some help. I really would appreciate if you could just help me. I said, sis, I got you. As soon as I touch down, I got you.
Yeah.
I will give it back to you.
Yeah.
I get here, go to the meetup spot. They're like, she's in labor. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? In labor? It's like I was just
She had
talking
some work
to
to
her.
do.
Yeah, I was like, I just was speaking to her.
Yeah.
And so I'm just thankful for your wife.
She's a good woman.
Because
Yeah.
you know that if it wasn't for her, I feel like in a sense we wouldn't have made it at that time. Yeah.
See, baby, I told you. Hey, people rock with you. I rock with you. We rock with you, girl. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So by you, being a single mother, I get this question a lot from a lot of my audience. They ask, what's the safety like for single mothers, and how is it for single mothers there? How do you feel? Do you feel safe here as a single mother?
I do.
Yeah.
So originally I'm from Compton, California.
Oh!
I'm from Compton. So let me just say this: we had to be in the house before the street lights come on, right?
You as an adult.
Well, it will be safe to be in the house before the street lights come on. Yes, I remember being held at gunpoint in my neighborhood.
Wow.
At 19, 20 years old on my birthday in my neighborhood.
Happy birthday.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I remember calling my parents and it was like, well, what time is it?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's almost, 2:00. They said, well, duh. Don't you know? Haven't I always told you to be in the house? Because it just ain't safe for nobody. But honestly, it's not even safe in the daytime now. So,
yeah, I heard in California, like rappers, like you can't even go to Cali. Like if you're a rapper, they coming to get you.
Yeah,
if you got some status, they coming.
It's almost like Africa. Like kind of know somebody before you just hop
Exactly.
somewhere. You kind of know somebody because you putting yourself in a real sticky situation. But as far as safety here, I could let my hair down. I could feel free knowing that my children is gonna be okay. I don't have to worry about them being stopped and harassed by the police.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about my son fight in the streets because he decides he wants to wear this color or that color.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about somebody having a bad day to where they feel like they got to prove they homies, they worthy of some BS and take my baby out of here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
You don't feel that.
I lost a lot of family members due to gang violence and just bitterness and unhappiness in the States. And here, it's not like that.
Yeah.
People really enjoy their lives here. You know what I'm saying? They just really, it's a different quality of life. If you can make it here, I mean, that's one of the greatest gifts that the Most High could ever grant you, is just to be in a place where you feel safe, better quality of food, and your children can actually be children and grow up around the right influences.
Exactly.
The right influences.
Exactly. That's the key. I love women that use their children as their driving force and as their like strength behind what they're doing, because so many women, they end up in a situation where they've been abandoned and they just fall into a pit and just sit in that and don't pick themselves up and keep moving and keep trying to do things. One of the reasons why your story is so like near and dear to my heart is because I come from a similar circumstances. Like my mother, she used to have to go from like, I don't know if many people know, but in America, like you can pretend like you have a different address in order for you to go to a better school in a certain area. So I remember my mom used to have to do things like that in order for us to have to be in a better situation. I didn't understand at the time. I'm like, man, why we got to go lie about our address and all this? But now I'm looking back, like if I would have went to that school in comparison to this school and been in that area and this area, my life would have been totally different. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of our brothers, you know, we've been in a system where it's tough for us to stand up and really take on the mantle of being a father, a husband, a provider, a protector. It's tough. I know it's hard, but we have to really overcome that struggle of not stepping up to the plate, because our families, our women, our children, our daughters, our sons are really depending on us. My wife said a quote of scripture the other day: creation is groaning, waiting for man to step into our rightful position. So we can do what we're supposed to do to put our families in a better position, because there is no reason that women should be abandoned. There's no reason that children should be abandoned in this day and time. With all the information that we have and everything that we have access to, we have the tools and the opportunity to be able to strengthen our own minds. So leaving our sisters hanging is not even an option anymore. So I went through that, and I came here to be able to, I wanted to give you a platform, because I wish, you know, my mother would have had the opportunity when I was younger and she had to go through what we had to go through.
Well, I appreciate that.
No problem. You're welcome, sis. I love how, you know, this journey of us coming back to Africa, it's so many different avenues. Like it's so many different ways that people can find inspiration and draw inspiration from each other. So, you know, keep going and keep inspiring people, because I know you're going to inspire a lot of mothers to make this happen for real.
I hope so.
Yeah, it needs to be done. You've been a single mother over here for almost 2 years now. Do you want to find love? And does it matter if it's with an African American or African?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I'm sure people would like to know.
Okay, so I do. I really would like to have love in my life. And it's more so, it's not even about love. It's really about creating a healthy family dynamic. You know, once I departed from my significant other, part of my healing process was me writing down a list of things I wanted to accomplish. The things that I wasn't able to accomplish prior to, you know, starting a new life. And creating a healthy family dynamic was one. And so when it comes to that, and also when you said either an African American or an African, someone here on the continent, well, my significant other is a Senegalese man. So, and then prior to him,
he's still your significant other.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, significant other.
Okay.
So it's like, it's you know, it's, you got to get used to saying that.
Yeah, poorly.
Yeah. So my prior to him, I dated American brothers. Brothers only. Brothers only. I don't have a preference. And I don't, because what I found that is, because of history, none of us are greater than the other. Diasporan brothers versus our continental brothers, neither are better, and we all got some healing to do. So when it comes to dating and finding love again, it really depends on the person, his heart, his faith, and has he healed? And what is he trying to accomplish? And what is he trying to go? Because as a woman, you know, living in Africa, my sisters here have taught me what my role is supposed to be as a mother. Because in America, we're raised to be strong, and an independent.
Yeah.
Men ain't gonna do this for me. I'm gonna do this for myself.
Yeah,
Type
yeah,
mentality.
yeah.
And not that we wanted to, is because we kind of had to.
Yeah, he was forced into their way of doing things.
Yeah. So if I could if I had to choose, like I say, I don't have a preference.
Yeah.
I just want somebody that's really about their business, know exactly what they want, and have healed through their trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we're here, got to show y'all some of the products real quick.
This natural body building. Natural body.
Yeah. Natural products.
Natural body.
Yeah.
Natural body.
Yeah. Say,
Baby.
yeah. Come closer. Come. Busy Beachy.
Karibu.
How has it been being pursued? Is there a difference in being pursued by African men in comparison to American men?
I think there's a misconception because most people would say there is a difference because of upbringing and us coming from different cultures. But the way I see it, men are men. Men are going to be men. And it doesn't matter what culture or background you come from.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get, a good bunch and a bad bunch. It don't even really even matter. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, humans are humans. We're going to be humans. So there's game everywhere you go. Game.
Yeah. So the African men be trying to run game
all the time, especially in when I was in Senegal. It's crazy because every taxi cab you get in is like, marry me, sister, marry me, know. But there's a story behind that, because just like a lot of us are trying to escape our reality in America. And many here are trying to escape their reality in their home country. So, we all can benefit. There's many benefits with coming together. Everybody knows that, it don't take a rocket science to know that once we come together and marry, that now you got it going on, and
we together.
And it kind of like the family name changes. Like there's more, how could I say? There's weight behind family, when two cultures come together. Given my experience, it's like, okay, I came together with a Senegalese man. Oh, wow, he was the first in my family. That says a lot. They think about the future of the family and where that goes. Yeah. So, but as far as dating, like I say, men are going to be men. They're about the same everywhere.
Yeah. Have you dealing with, men here? Has there been like an extra, I won't say extra, but like there has been something different where you can be like, man, I don't want to deal with those type of men over there or those type of men over here. I want to deal with this set of type of men.
Because what people sometimes fail to realize, when you take cultural differences out of the equation, all of us have to heal from history. We all have trauma.
That's true.
So it's when it comes to dating, now I'm looking I'm not looking. I prefer somebody who has healed. I prefer somebody who knows exactly who they are. You may not exactly know what you're called to do here, because even I myself still don't know what I'm called to do here in the motherland. But I do prefer somebody that wants to work towards my same goals. Similarity in goals.
We're in the pursuit of trying, at least build something.
That's what I'm all about right about now. It's building. How can I build? How can I help? The people coming. How could I help my brothers and sisters that are already here?
Yeah. So were you, you did sort of just answer. I was gonna ask, are you looking to get, married? And do you prefer African or African American? Are you looking to get married first? And which, if there's a preference?
Y'all willing? I am open to marriage. As far as preference, like I said, they just gotta
be about their business.
Gotta be about their business. No games, know who they are. You know what I'm saying? They know exactly who they are and what they want to do, because that makes a big difference in any relationship. When you're trying to find yourself, but then trying to pursue somebody and something, that's a lot. And so
a lot of men end up, when they get into things prematurely and they don't know their purpose, they end up hurting the woman that they're with. because they don't even know themselves at the time. So it's like, I can't take care of you. You don't know me.
Hence, I think that's what happened with my previous marriage.
Yeah.
You know, we were young.
Yeah.
He didn't know who he was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was until after I came here. And I didn't.
That's so true.
And I didn't even 100% understand who my ex-husband was until I came here.
All his nuances and stuff.
It's like it started making sense. I'm like, oh, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
yeah.
You know, you just come to a lot of realizations being over here.
That's real. That's true. You have to be able to mature and look at what's going on around you in order to, make it happen over here.
Right.
So, you've been here for 2 years almost, and you've been successful, of course, because you're still sitting here and making it happen. I'm sure you've been through things where you had to contemplate, looking back, going to go make some money over there. So you're an entrepreneur as well. So how has it been running your business? And talk a little bit about your business that you have here. Okay,
so like I said, when I came over to Tanzania, I didn't have no plan really.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm gonna come over here. If let me see how can I make keep our family afloat, because the money was running a little low, and so I said, well, I'm good at making tacos. You from California, I mean, we eat tacos, breakfast, lunches, dinner. You can have tacos 1,000 different ways. Dessert tacos. But
what?
So no, seriously,
I never heard of it.
Tacos so many different ways that you cannot get tired of tacos.
Taco dessert. You gotta make that one, man.
Every time you eat a taco, you gonna have a different experience.
Every time.
Every single time. So that's really what I would like to see here in Africa. More taquerias, more places to go and eat some tacos.
Different styles.
Yeah.
So there's places in not New York, in Cali with like dessert tacos.
Yeah, you can do anything with tacos.
Like chapatis.
You can do any, oh yes. Chapatis, the local staple, yes. Gotta have it. But, I came over here, I started a taco business. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I never thought about opening up a restaurant. And when we started, I was a little nervous and afraid that it just wasn't going to hit. It was just like, we here, so we ain't got no choice. Yeah. Let's just try to do this. We're going to figure it out. And, I'm just so thankful that when we started, it hit. Yeah. It hit, and I just was not prepared. Yeah.
It was too big of a hit.
It was. I wasn't prepared.
Wow, that's a good problem to have, though.
You sound like my people said that. I remember calling my dad. Yeah. I was almost in tears because I just, when business get a little overwhelming, you begin to risk the integrity of the business. And that's what's important to me. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Maintaining quality, maintaining a good reputation. Yeah. And so every order that went out, it had to be legit. It had to be bomb. And, we had them days where it wasn't all of that, and it broke my heart. Mm-hmm. But my father, I called him crying. I was like, I don't know if I can handle it. I'm having to shut down early. We just opened and I got to stop taking orders. There's a cutoff in the middle of the day. And I have people calling and I have to tell them, I'm sorry, I can't manage it, because I'm so thankful for my kids. Mm. I had my son who was 12 at the time. No, he was 11 at the time when we opened the taco shop. Mm. And he had to learn how to grill.
At 11?
At 11.
Wow.
He had to learn how to grill. Wow. That's Grill Master.
That's
Chef
what's up, man.
Kyle.
Yeah.
And then I had my daughter on juices and sauces. We made everything from scratch.
Oh, yeah. All
of us. Yeah. And so our morning started at 6 o'clock in the morning, prepping to be open by 2 in the evening, and we had orders before 12. So.
Wow. That's what's up.
But sadly, our business took a hit. Mm-hmm. Our business took a hit after some months rolling. We were robbed.
Poorly.
And one thing about here, and it's not just Africa, it's even in the States. When people are idle and they just sitting around and they watching the coming and going, and they just, pocket watching, and things happen. And I didn't have that security. Matter of fact, I was too busy to even recognize it was even about to, or even I didn't even, when it hit me, I'm just like, where did this come from? because
expecting
I
it.
wasn't even expecting it.
Yeah.
And it'd be the closest one. It'd be the people that's right there. Let me help you.
Man.
What
yeah.
you need, sister? I got you. You
Yeah.
know. And from there, honestly, it's been difficult to recover.
Mm.
What's
been making it difficult?
When they took from us, they took a lot of financial, so it put us down. And to be broke in Africa it's a different than being broke in America. You broke in America, you can wake up and go get a job the next day.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different side gigs, or you could just have that right now money.
True.
You talking about being broke in Africa. Well, what's your language skill like? Because now you got to get out here and know the language. You got to talk the talk, walk the walk.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, you got to learn fast when you come out here, because now you got to get they hit us. Let me tell you how strategic they were. They hit me 2 days before rent was due.
So they had rent too.
And the person, the people who was responsible for collecting the rent were those. Yeah.
So I gotta ask, because people gonna want to know. Were they Tanzanian or diasporan?
It was a team effort. It was team
and,
effort.
And going through that, you still won't leave. You still will not even look back.
No, and sadly, I didn't realize it until after the fact. My kids called it out to me because I was so busy managing the taco shop that I didn't even realize that all my neighbors were up and leaving. I'm like, why is everybody leaving? Well, they later told me that they got robbed too.
Dang,
so everybody in the community was getting robbed.
So it wasn't even just, we're going to get the Americans.
Yeah, it was everybody getting robbed over there. Well, no, the community that I lived in was diaspora. So you had people, well, it wasn't just diasporans. Let's just say foreigners, because you had Kenyans living there. Yeah. You had people from Zimbabwe living there. So they're not seen as brothers and sisters also. Yeah. We're just foreigners.
Y'all was easy targets.
Very easy. And so yeah, my son is just like, Mom, they got robbed too. And I'm just like, are you serious? And you asked me, would that keep me here? And would it make me want to go back home? No. No, because the thing about it is, come on now. Yeah. And when you come over here and when you really have your heart and desires to stay here, that's like being in America and hitting rock bottom. So you just gonna leave? Because I don't remember any of my brothers and sisters in America hitting rock bottom and say, I'm gonna just flee to another country. Like, they don't do that. That's not a thing. So it's like, when you hit rock bottom, you just gonna, find a way to pick it up and keep going. And I think I don't discredit or count out what I went through in America as a single parent, because I truly feel like it built me to handle and carry the weight on my back here in Africa. Yeah. And I think I mentioned to you before, like the struggle here is different. It's a little lighter because you're not faced with a whole bunch of bitter people around you.
It's not a constant bombardment.
There's space and peace and time to think about it. It's like when you move to Africa, everything just moves a lot slower.
That's true. And that's giving you time to really recoup and really, like, when you get back to opening up your business, you will be able to run it properly, and you won't be able to fall for that mistake again.
Yes.
That's good. So what, what is the vision for the taco shop?
The vision for the taco shop. So for the taco shop, like I said, I did not see me opening up a restaurant. But for me, my goal when I got over here was to get into real estate, which I did in Senegal. That's where I learned. Came over here, wanted to implement those same, the real estate structure here, how they do housing over there. I wanted to do that here. But I wanted to build something for my children. So this was their baby. This was their restaurant. The taco shop was their restaurant. It literally was just going to be a shack set up on the beach for the kids to come out and sell tacos, because the beach is a hot spot here. You get some really, really good food on the beach.
For real.
You get some really good food on the beach. And also to provide jobs for the youth here, because when I was 15, I got a job.
Mm-hmm.
You have those opportunities. A lot of us don't have opportunities to come over here in Africa and get 9 to 5s. So just think about our children. My kids came here at age 11, so I'm like, I got to get this going.
So
you know, they told me it'd take you a good 2 years before your restaurant really get going and popping. So I was just like, well, if I start now, I got to, and then it gives jobs. Not only will it provide jobs for the locals, but it provide jobs for the teen diasporans because, believe it or not, they get hit hard here. So just imagine them lacking that experience that we get to have over there. Somebody had to do it.
That's true.
So that was my vision as far as the taco shop. It was really it was the children's baby, but it was to also provide jobs.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a good job. You actually, trained your children up in entrepreneurship, and then, they will see how you bounce back from adversity. Well, they're watching you bounce back from adversity and bring it back. So it'll be good. It'll come. It'll come. Just keep swinging.
Oh, yeah.
Like they say here, kidogo, kidogo.
Yes. yes.
But yeah, what is, so I guess, what's your vision for your family and yourself moving forward here in Africa on the continent?
So moving forward, I would like to have lands for myself, and not just for myself, but for single parents.
Hold on, not just single mothers. You want to help single
parents. So I'm not limited to single mothers, single fathers too. There was a time in my life in America where I was homeless with infants, and I always wanted to be able to do something. So I went through all the programs in America. Except for housing, it's like it's complicated. You get a job, a decent paying job. But then you still need help with food. And then you try to get food. You try to get on welfare time where you make too much money. It's like, how do I make too much money? I got insurance, I got car payment, I got rent, you get what I'm saying? So it just never, it's a rigged system.
I'm about to say,
it's never going to work.
Never ending rat race.
Yeah, it's never going to work. So when I came here, like I said, my list of things that I wanted to accomplish that I didn't in America. And that's one of the things. This still helps single parents. Yeah. They make it impossible for you to do that in America. Yeah. So it's so easy to do it here, and we have access to the government here. Yeah. That's something we don't have in the States. We can't just go knocking on the door and say, "Hey, can we chat?"
Mr. Commissioner, let me talk
to you for a minute. You have those opportunities here, and when you have those opportunities, you got to do something with it. So I would like to build for my brothers and sisters because I know what it's like to come over here and not have anything and not have a vision or idea. And I want to be able to show people that you don't have to stay there. If you want change, you got to change. You got to do something different. You got to get out of that cycle of struggle, the cycle of working for somebody else and just get out, leave. What you scared of? Because what exactly do you have to lose? You have everything to gain if you just try. So my thing is, I've had a little something over here financially, and I've been broke here. And so
a little something.
And I've been on my butt here. And so now that I see in the whole way, I feel like I've still been okay. And God's been carrying me, and I'm still okay. So with knowing that I don't always have to feel like I have to do this and do that for me, I want to use my time and my resources to build for other people until they can realize that they can do the same thing and constantly build and be of service to other people. Because I think that's where change gonna start.
That's real. I was listening to Dr. I don't know if you know who Dr. Amos Wilson is, but he's a philosopher, and he talks about the psychology of us as African people. And he talked about how you just touched on it, where it's not enough for us to become teachers and for us to become entrepreneurs. We have to step into the political realm and have those conversations with world changers and movers and shakers. That's one piece of the puzzle. We have to have people bold enough to step into those arenas. So you just touched on it. We have access to the government.
We got to do something.
We got to do something with it.
Yeah.
That's real.
A lot of us come over here and boast about we know this person. We know that person. Okay, so what you doing?
What you gonna
with
do
it?
though?
What you gonna do with it? What does that make you?
Man.
Because
Yeah.
their goals and accomplishments ain't attached to you. You
That's
can't
true.
take glory for that. But what you gonna do with
That's
that?
true.
And so I know that there are obstacles with getting these projects off the ground, but there is a way.
Yeah.
And it may not ever be in the place that you desire, and that's what I'm learning too. When you do your research and you got to study the laws and see what you can do. But when you building something, like for me, like every project I take on is my baby.
Yeah.
And the taco shop was a learning lesson for me. So even with these bigger projects, it's like I have to make sure that nobody can take that baby away from me. Because it wouldn't be that they just taking it away from me. They taking it away from the people that want to be here.
Exactly.
They're taking it away from the children, that need a chance here. That's who they taking that away from. So
my wife, she was telling me about it. You was just talking about how she be helping. She told me earlier, she was like, we can't afford, me personally, I can't afford to not be at my best and put my best foot forward because there's so many other people depending on me putting my best foot forward. Like it's like a whole line of people like, hey bro, you better be on your best behavior.
It's true.
Yeah.
You will be surprised of how many people be watching.
Yeah.
And it's like you do have to hold yourself accountable. You do have to walk a certain way, stand a certain way, because you just never know. And I know for sure my son watches. And with it not being a male figure around, sorry, bro. There go another nugget. You gotta be careful, bro. You gotta, because it's important, because we shape.
No, it's true though.
The kids, the next generation coming, and I hate to say it, but I'm sad for my people in the States because we depending on this generation of kids coming up, we doomed, like we hurt. So I feel bad for our children.
The ones that's over there.
The ones, So what I'm doing here is getting everyone caught up the best way I can.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Our children are smart.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're not being challenged in the States.
And that's, wow, that's true. That's why it's so important that we have like our people that's within our community that have understanding, that have like the know like these type of things, the ins and outs and the importance of reshaping our children's mind, that you step up and step into those roles of mentorship and helping the younger generation, because without them, essentially our children won't be anything as well, because they all got to work together. I learned that, when I was a young man, I had to, if it wasn't for mentorship and one of my football coaches picking me up and helping me figure things out and how to become a man, I could have still been in America, in the Memphis city streets, thugging it out, trying my best to be a thug and a criminal and doing all those type of things. But somebody stepped up and became a mentor. Wow. Rest in peace to Coach Tony. He just died actually, like as I came to Africa. We had a conversation about he didn't essentially agree with me coming here and didn't understand the call on my life. So I really had to talk to him and have a hard conversation. And unfortunately, we didn't get to come on good terms about me making this move, and he don't even know how influential he was in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's one of those things, right?
Yeah.
But but mentorship, y'all, that's very important and very key, because if someone didn't mentor me, I wouldn't be right here doing this video right now. I could have went down a whole different path. So, I'm one of the exceptions to what everybody thought would be going on in 2022. When I was growing up, people were like, oh, just like Sis just said, man, if these children is next up, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do?
But them men stepped up and taught us the principles of life within the sport of football, and it really helped us out. It helped me out, and I know it helped many men in my life out. So, mentorship is key for the children, because they are the future too. They are the future too. I'm glad you said that, because you really really hit a nerve, and people really need to know, like, we can't just neglect the children, especially the ones that's coming here. We really have to go in their mind and help them reshape what they've been taught.
Yeah. Especially the ones that's coming here, because they don't realize they have an advantage,
Mm.
but they also have a calling on their life if they're here. So
Bro,
the
I
children
be
coming
telling
over
them.
here, they got some work to do.
Man, yeah.
They got some work to do, and I'm
Yeah.
just happy to even be a part of that,
Mhm.
to be able to
Yeah.
do something, because I didn't know little old me.
Yeah, right,
Little
right,
old me.
right. Me, what?
Somebody
Yeah.
looking at me, you
Yeah.
know, these kids watching me, you know, I'm a leader, I have to be that example. I
Yeah.
have to be not just mommy to my children. Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
be the mommy to everybody else too.
That's good. I'm glad you're accepting the mantle and really stepping into it and not like being like, oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not supposed to be doing that. Yeah.
No, we here for a reason. I'm
Mm.
trying to unmask it
Yeah.
and figure it out. What am I here for? Because we can get the ball rolling. You know what I'm
Respect
saying?
that.
I'm like, what we
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. So I guess my next question is, what advice would you have for any, single women or men, since you like to help single men too?
Mm-hmm.
What any advice would you have for a single individual that's coming here and trying to get established?
My number one advice, if you're gonna come over here, is to step out on faith. Step out and remain in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just step out and just lose your faith and believing that everything's gonna be okay. You gotta stay in that faith, because things are gonna happen. You're gonna have them days where you think about going back, but you gotta remember your why as to why did you leave in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And my why for staying here is my children, because I didn't have that life that I feel I deserve. I don't think any of us had a life that we felt like we deserved.
Yeah.
But if we have children, I do feel like the least that we can do is attempt to give them the life that we all deserve. And so, like I said, remain in that faith. Know that everything is going to be okay. Never forget your why you doing it. And keep learning.
Yeah. That's the real.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
If you get over here and you stop learning,
Right.
like you get too complacent.
Yeah. I don't want to learn Swahili.
Yes.
You gotta
And don't
learn
ever
Swahili.
feel like you're too old to learn. Because I remember ignorantly, I said to my children, Swahili would be the last language. I said, I don't think I got another language up under me, because I have taken Spanish in my life.
You fluent?
No. Spanish, Wolof, French, now Swahili. And I look young, but I'm getting up there, and I'm like telling my kids, your mama ain't got another foreign language in her. This is it. Like, this is it. But then I realized, stepping into business and thinking about the importance of the mission here, it's like you're going to have to keep learning. You're going to have to learn languages, different ones. It is not limited to the country that you're in. If you're really trying to do something, you're going to have to learn how to connect with people. And that's through language.
That's true.
Food too.
Food too. Yeah, and tacos. Yeah.
But really language. And now agriculture. Now real estate. These are education. These are engineering, like all sorts of engineering here on the continent. I do feel my best advice is, if you come over here, be prepared to do something that you never thought you would dream of doing, because that just might be your calling.
Amen. I like how, I said it in the beginning, but anybody that has their children as their why, like, that's something that really like touches me, and really like, if I can do anything to help somebody their child is their why, that's their driving force, I will do whatever is in my power to help that person move forward. So, I would like to, talk to your son and ask him, how he feels about things, and have, get his input on how his mother is doing what she do. So, Kael, Karibu to T3 and me. Welcome again. You was just on here a week ago with the Uhuru Community Center video. But welcome back again, man. Karibu. Yeah. So, I was talking a little bit. You were behind the camera seeing what was going on and hearing things. So, I was a young man in your position when I was like 12 and 11 at the same time. So when I was like growing up, my mother had to deal with the similar circumstances that your mother having to deal with. And, I remember being in that point in my life and thinking about, I wish I could help my mom, or like, if I see my mom doing this, let me help her out, or trying to give tips with what I know at that time. So, you know, how has it been for you? And first of all, congratulations, and I'm proud of you for stepping up and making the food and like learning how to grill at a young age, man. That's what's up. Yeah. So how has it been, and what's like what's your driving force to help your mom out?
A lot.
Yeah.
I just want to help her out because it's very hard during this time. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel like, how can I put this? When you see, like when you watch your mom overcome, when you watch your mom still go through things and endure, what's it like for you to have to like say, Mom, I got you, I'll cook. How was it? Like, was it hard for you to learn how to cook? No. It was kind of easy because you knew you were helping your mom.
Yeah. Before this time, when I was learning how to cook, I will always watch it.
Yeah.
Just to learn.
Yeah, you was back there watching the whole time. So when you saw an opportunity for you to be like, okay, I know I can help my mom right here. This is where I'm gonna help at. Yeah.
I was happy at that time.
Yeah, good. So how has it been learning how to cook? Like, what's it like stepping into something like, wow, I can cook? Like, do you see yourself making tacos on a big scale now?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Because before this, I was cooking just a little, only a little.
Yeah.
But now I'm cooking a lot.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, but it's not that easy.
Yeah. You just have to know the correct measurements and what to put in.
Right.
My wife always crack a joke. I reference my wife a lot. Wow. I must love this woman. But if she say, when we sprinkling food, like we don't know, we just feel the ancestors telling us, like, stop, it's time.
That's what my mom said. She doesn't measure at all.
Yeah. You just feel it in your spirit.
Right.
Yeah. You can feel it. But yeah, I guess my next question is, unfortunately, there's a lot of young men and a lot of young women that have to deal with and watch their mother, be alone and really don't know what to do. What would you say to a young man that was watching this right now, that don't know how to help his mother, that's watching his mother struggle? What advice would you give him? I
would say just step up and help her in any way that you can. Yeah. Really.
Yeah. That's good. Asante Sana, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. So we thank you all for watching. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. I'll definitely tag my sister's YouTube and Instagram in the description box so you guys can go over there and check out and stay tuned and stay connected to her journey. She has some fire content that she's putting out to inspire people. So make sure y'all go over there and check them out. If you made it to the end of the video, we appreciate it. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. We don't take it lightly that you sat down and watched it to the end. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can stay tuned. And if you haven't already, make sure you go over to Repat Book and set up an account if you're interested in joining our community of repatriates that's coming together to put our like-mindedness together and build some things together. So we thank you all for the love and the support. Y'all stay safe out there. Shalom. Repat Book is Africa's first social media platform steered towards repatriates, also known as returnees to the motherland in every country of Africa, as well as diasporans in America, Canada, the UK, and all four corners of the earth who are considering making the journey to freedom. It is a space where we can chat, earn money simply by being active on the site, and all of the features we are already familiar with from Facebook and WhatsApp, without having to sell our information and minus the censorship. For all continental Africans, repats in Africa, and persons who wish to come to Africa, this is our place to build, learn, network, problem solve, unite, innovate, and educate ourselves for a smooth transition into our rightful positions as we break away from our captors. This is the place we all knew we needed. By consolidating our energy, we can force transformation. This is the drum. If you're interested in joining the community, click the link in the description. Karibu.